We're set up on the tripod. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Monday morning, May the 15th. Beautiful morning. Look at this. Oh yeah, sand dunes, lake. Perfect. Oh sure, we're just spending a day on the Ganaraska Trail. Beautiful place to be today. I love this particular trail, probably as much as I love the Bruce. But anyhow, that's not what today's video is about. It's not about the trail we're hiking today. It's actually broken into 3 sections, is this particular video. It's an announcement video, so it's going to tell you about my next upcoming kind of major, or we'll call it semi-major hike, which starts on or about the 29th of this month, which would be 2 weeks today. Also, a little bit of an explanation about the missing data on the Appalachian Trail, for those of you who are following that particular trail, of those hikes that I did 2022, my through hike attempt. And there's been a gap of about 6 days, and a lot happened in that 6 days. A lot happened. So I'm going to explain that. And secondly, or thirdly, a little bit about the actual strategy for the upcoming semi-major, let's say, hike, again on May the 29th. So that is what today's video is all about. So first of all, let's just start off with a little bit of an explanation. I got to keep everything pretty short today too, because I only have one battery with me with my GoPro 8 Black. Okay, so let's just talk about the missing data on the Appalachian Trail series of videos. We went from something like, I don't know, day 75 or something to like day 83. Something went wrong. I don't know what I did, whether I misplaced a chip or just mishandled, mismanaged data in the downloading process. But in that, say, 6-day period, I did arrive at Harper's Ferry. The night before that, I stayed at the so-called cult hostel of the 12 tribes, the Yellow Deli, which was absolutely amazing, by the way. There's all these stories about how they're going to try to, you know, cut off your head, and all this kind of stuff, you know, recruit you into their cult and stuff. Nothing at all like that. I found them to be very Christian, very caring, very loving people. And you stay there by donation. They picked me up at me and another hiker up at the trailhead. They took us back the next morning. I gave a $20 donation. The other hiker, I believe, gave 10. We did buy food in their restaurant, which I would like to say something about that. The food I had in the Yellow Deli restaurant at the 12 Tribes hostel, if you will, compound, whatever, it was probably some of the best, if not the best food I had on the old Appalachian Trail. So I'd mention that. So anyhow, that morning that I was leaving the Yellow Deli, I got an email from US Immigration reminding me that my visa was about to expire. Now, I live in Canada and I've lived here for 45 years, but I am not a Canadian citizen. I'm a British citizen. And what never entered my old empty mind was, I'm traveling with a British passport when I travel into the United States. As a resident of Canada, I don't need particularly a visa, other than say a ESTA visa. And it just didn't enter my mind the fact that the ESTA visa could only give me 90 days. It wouldn't give me the full 180 days that all Canadians get. All Canadian residents can travel to the United States for up to 6 months. The snowbirds do it every year. I just assumed, because I'd lived here, I was a permanent resident and lived here for 45 years, that I got the same. I did not. So when I got this email, this knocked my socks off to the point where I was literally bawling. I mean, I had no idea what I was going to do. Now do keep in mind that up to 4 days before I started the Appalachian Trail hike, my original intention was to simply hike from the Armacola State Park, if you will, the approach trail, and then Springer Mountain, the beginning of the Appalachian Trail, to Harper's Ferry. I never thought that I would be able to accomplish or do the whole crown trail of the Appalachian Trail in the 6 months that was allotted to me. I thought maybe I'll do it in 2 halves. But now I was arriving at Harper's Ferry. I just received this news. I was devastated and I didn't know what to do. So I spoke to my daughter, and well, what happened was when I arrived at the ATC at Harper's Ferry, they took my picture, they gave me my number. I think I was 438, I believe. So 438 hikers had passed the halfway point ahead of me. But anyhow, the lady was very helpful, and she helped me with my credit card book a ticket from Harper's Ferry to Washington, and then Greyhound from Washington to Niagara Falls, New York, where I could go across the border there, go home, and you know, that would be the end of that particular hike, which in hindsight would have been the right thing to do, but I didn't do that. What I did was I actually called my daughter, because she lives in Toronto, and I said, would you be able to pick me up in a couple of days at Niagara Falls? She said, sure, Daddy, but why? And I explained it to her. She says, well, hang on a minute, I have a little bit of experience with this, she said. She said, I want you to write down on a piece of paper why you want to stay in the United States once your visa has expired, which I did. I took a picture of that and I sent it to her. She contacted me the next day and said, okay, listen, you have got essentially an extension on your visa. You are going to go for a biometric scan on something like, I don't know, let's say June the 13th. So I was due to leave on May the 22nd. So now all of a sudden my daughter had got me a 3 weeks extension, if you will, by booking me, or asking for an extension and booking me the biometric scan. Once you have booked a biometric scan, you can stay in the States until the date of that biometric scan. And then you have to show up, and anyhow. So to cut a long story short, and the story is long, and it's, it's really intriguing, but I could now continue hiking north, which is exactly what I did, by the way. I continued hiking north and now had another 3 weeks to figure things out. Okay, that's as much as I want to say about that, that missing data and the kind of main thing that happened in that missing data period, because it ends up changing everything as I progress and push north on the Appalachian Trail. So do keep watching those videos, because it does get interesting from an immigration standpoint. Anyhow, okay, so that is that. Second piece of information, or goal, aim, if you like, of the video is the announcement. Okay, so 2 weeks today, all things being equal. Now, if there's a bad weather I'm going to be in Ontario, so if there's a bad weather kind of period of time at that point, I can change it day or two either way, no big deal. But I'm planning on the 29th, Monday morning, bright and early, and I'll be hiking the Bruce Trail. Now, I have through hiked the Bruce Trail. I have yo-yoed the Bruce Trail several times. What I haven't done is a flip-flop of the Bruce Trail. So we're going to be starting on the 29th, next Monday, and we're going to be departing from Maple Lane. Maple Lane is the northern end of the Blue Mountain section of the Bruce Trail, right at the halfway mark, give or take half a kilometer, and we will head south to Niagara Falls. We will hike the 460 kilometers, 300 miles to Niagara Falls. Around, I don't know, 16, 18 day I'm allowing for that particular hike. So that is going to be my next kind of, let's call it a semi-major hike. And I'm really looking forward to that start date and actually flip-flopping the Bruce. Now, the northern half, again, would begin from Maple Lane, but instead of heading south, we'll be heading north and pushing into the Beaver Valley, and again pushing towards Tobermory. The remaining kind of 460 kilometers or 300 miles of the Bruce Trail. I'm not actually sure when I'm going to do the second half. I might do that in the fall. I do have some other things that I would like to do this summer, so we'll see. We'll just see. I don't have a time schedule for the second half as of yet. So that's it. 2023 is going to be a flip-flop through hike of the Bruce Trail. Also, I'm thinking, back in 2020, I did through hike the Ganaraska Trail. I did that with my good friend Andre. Remember Andre, the 2019 PCT through hiker, crown holder for that particular year? Well, him and I, we did hike the Ganaraska Trail in 2020. I think it took us 13 days. And that was just the straight kind of trail from Port Hope to Glen Huron. We didn't worry about the side trails at that point. This year, I'm thinking of going back and through hiking the Ganaraska Trail again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to kind of get that time period, but I'm hoping that I might be able to do that. So there you have it. Oh, by the way, stay tuned. Sometime this week there will be also published, uploaded a gear list for the southern half of the flip-flop of the Bruce Trail and the gear I'm using on that particular 460 kilometer 300-mile hike. So do stay tuned for that. Okay, one more thing to chit-chat about on this particular hike. We're actually going to do that in a moment, and that's going to be my resupply strategy on that southern half of the Bruce Trail. Where am I going to get my food supplies from? How am I planning to do it? Okay, let's just get on with this day hike for now though. Break time. I've reached the halfway point, or the turnaround point, which just happens to be the tiny marsh, and I'm in their pavilion right now, one of their picnic tables, having a break and some food. My food is bran, blueberries, pineapple, and honeydew melon, and plain yogurt. Good. And of course, my coffee. Okay, so we've talked about the missing data a little bit on the Appalachian Trail, and we've talked about the announcement video portion, which is, of course, the southern half of the Bruce Trail, 460 kilometers. The next thing to talk about that I'd mentioned earlier in the day was strategy or planning, if you will, for the upcoming hike. Okay, I'm leaving Maple Lane. It's about 460 kilometers, around 300 miles. I do have further south several resupply options, but in the northern kind of part of the south section of the Bruce Trail, there's not much. My first positive resupply that I've used many times is at Silver Creek Motel. I spend the night at the motel, Uber into Georgetown, go to like the Superstore, Walmart, whatever's, and Uber back to the motel. And there it gives me the opportunity, of course, to charge my battery packs and so on, which I have to do when I'm vlogging. From Maple Lane to that location is 217 kilometers. Probably around 8 days. That's a lot of food. I've done that before, but I don't like it. It's just a lot of food, a lot of weight. However, that may be what I'll have to do. There are areas such as Highway 89, Primrose. There's a couple of restaurants there. Grab a meal, pack out a sandwich maybe. There's a gas station. Doesn't have much for resupply, but you can get a few very expensive bars there. There's a Subway. You could maybe pack out a sandwich from the Subway there. There is a motel there, and there's also the Primrose campgrounds there. A person could possibly Uber or taxi into Shelburne and resupply there if they wanted to. So that is an option. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just get what I can at those, say, two restaurants or the Subway as far as a meal, and then maybe pack out a sandwich. That will help, and a few more bars from the gas station. So that would help a little bit. Further south on Highway 9, there's a Tim Hortons. Of course, you can get another meal there, and again, you could pack out another sandwich there. So that is going to help a little bit the overall picture. Yeah, there is another option, which I've done before. On my northbound legs or southbound legs, I've had people meet me at Black Banks, Honeywood, County Road 21, I believe it is, with a resupply box that I've given them ahead of time. And that's made a huge difference, because that's about 75 kilometers in from the beginning, which leaves, say, 260 kilometers from there to Silver Creek, which is just fine. It totally changes the whole kind of concept, if you will, of the food issues. Apart from that, everything's pretty much easy, really. It's only easy simply because I've done it several times, this particular hike, or the Bruce Trail in general, so I've just never flip-flopped it before like this. So that is my kind of resupply option in the northern part of this hike. Once I leave Silver Creek Motel, a Georgetown area, I think it's about 3 days later, I go right past Waterdown. And going through Waterdown, you go right behind the Walmart. You can go into Walmart, resupply, and get food, and that kind of stuff. There's some trail maintenance folks working today. Right there, I watched those young ladies cutting. I think they're cutting, is it mustard grass, mustard seed? I think that's what they're doing. There's a few of them just over here working. But anyhow, as I was saying, so in Waterdown, I think it's Waterdown, 3 days later, after Silver Creek, again, you go right past the Walmart. You can go into Walmart, resupply. You can go across the parking lot. There's some good restaurants there. You can grab a meal and carry on. And then another, I think 3 days after that, you go right through Grimsby, past Grimsby, half a kilometer off trail. There's I think it's like a Food Basics or something like that. Resupply there for the last 3-day push to Niagara. So that part of the hike is simple. It's just the first kind of couple of 100 kilometers that's a challenge as far as resupplying is concerned. And again, there's also another option where I can get a pail, put items in it, seal it really well, go to Black Banks, which isn't that far driving from my home really, 30 minutes or so. But again, it's 75 kilometers of trail, and I can stash it there, and then hopefully it'll still be there when I go through and pick it up and grab those supplies. That would also make a big difference. So there's options. So that's how I'm looking at the kind of resupply strategy of this upcoming hike. So there, that is about it. It's good. And of course, you'll see those videos, excuse me, you'll see those videos come out. They'll start to come out shortly after I finish that particular hike. I'll edit, of course, and create the videos and upload them. And they'll be in their own playlist, which will be basically the Bruce Trail 2023. And again, the actual northbound section, when I'm going to start that, probably in the fall, I think, and do the northbound. So I'll do the through hike, if you will, of the Bruce this summer, probably, but probably do the north half maybe towards mid-August or into September, something like that. Maybe even later in September. I love the northern section in the fall. It's beautiful, and there's less people. Just saying. That's it. That's it. That's all, folks. Everybody have a great day. Please like, share, comment. Do subscribe to my channel. We do need all the subscribers we can get. And for all those of you who have been with me for quite a while, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to carry on with my break.